What if you were told to leave your home forever? Not because you did something wrong, but because someone else wanted your land. That's what happened to thousands of Native Americans in the 1830s in what became known as the Trail of Tears, a journey filled with mistakes, unfair decisions, and terrible consequences. In 1830, President Andrew Jackson signed the Indian Removal Act. The law said Native American tribes living east of the Mississippi River had to move west. He claimed this would prevent conflicts between Native people and white settlers, but it was also about land, gold, and power. The U.S. government didn't just target one group. They forced five major tribes to leave their lands: the Cherokee, Choctaw, Chickasaw, Creek, and Seminole. These tribes have lived in the southeastern U.S. for generations, in places like Georgia, Alabama, Mississippi, and Florida. Many had schools, governments, farms, and even written languages, but none of that stopped the government from removing them. The Cherokee Nation tried to fight back peacefully. They took their case to the U.S. Supreme Court, and in Worcester v. Georgia, the court ruled that the Cherokee Nation was a separate nation and had the right to stay on their land. But here's where oversight and error changed everything. President Jackson refused to follow the ruling. The Constitution says the president must enforce the law, but in this case, he didn't. His decision, or his decision to refuse to act, allowed states and the Army to begin forcing Native Americans off their land. In 1838, the U.S. Army began rounding up over 16,000 Cherokee people. Many didn't even have time to gather their belongings. The government didn't prepare well for the journey. They didn't provide enough food, clothing, or medical help. This was a major failure, and people paid for it with their lives. The Trail of Tears was more than 1,000 miles long. People walked through the rain, snow, and freezing cold. About 4,000 Cherokee died along the way from hunger, sickness, and exhaustion. Some of this tragedy was caused by bad planning. Some of it came from government error, believing that they could control the lives of Native people without listening to them, and some of it was just cruel indifference. But the story doesn't end there. Despite everything, the Cherokee and other tribes survived. They rebuilt their communities in what is now Oklahoma. Their language, culture, and spirit remain strong to this day. History doesn't always go the way it should. Sometimes mistakes, oversights, and poor choices change the lives of thousands. The Trail of Tears shows us how devastating the consequences of injustice, poor leadership, and ignored warnings can be, and why we must never let history like this repeat itself.